Money work.
Alright, this is September.
El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SE Project, branding logo, that's on here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool. And we're also gonna change the kickstand knob, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at tonight.
Hopefully I'm all good, guys. I rolled over something.
Solo un par de gente se llama el Putin entero. Money, pasa verdadero. Si tienes la verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SE Project, branding logo, that's on here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool. And we're also gonna change the kickstand knob, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at tonight.
Hopefully I'm all good, guys. I rolled over something.
Solo un par de gente se llama el Putin entero. Money, pasa verdadero. Si tienes la verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SE Project, branding logo, that's on here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool. And we're also gonna change the kickstand knob, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at tonight.
Hopefully I'm all good, guys. I rolled over something.
Solo un par de gente se llama el Putin entero. Money, pasa verdadero. Si tienes la verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SE Project, branding logo, that's on here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool. And we're also gonna change the kickstand knob, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at tonight.
Hopefully I'm all good, guys. I rolled over something.
Solo un par de gente se llama el Putin entero. Money, pasa verdadero. Si tienes la verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SE Project, branding logo, that's on here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool. And we're also gonna change the kickstand knob, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at tonight.
Hopefully I'm all good, guys. I rolled over something.
Solo un par de gente se llama el Putin entero. Money, pasa verdadero. Si tienes la verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo
You guys know the deal. I have to join the music and enjoy it. Lunes.
Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
We're gonna keep it nice and short, guys. What's good? Welcome to another FreeStyle Sunday, guys. Very excited to be on tonight. I am excited for several reasons. You guys know the deal. We always have a dope guest that we tend to have a nice conversation with that's gonna be out of this world. So welcome to tonight. If you're tuned in, make sure you hit that thumbs up. All right, feel free to chime in the live chat. If you're watching this a little bit later, you can leave a comment in the comment section. We're more likely to answer you or reply. Or if you have any question for Amy, that'd be freaking awesome because she is really dope. That's our guest for the night, guys. She is a TikTok sensation. I'd say 50,000 follower, 11,000 on Instagram. And I think she has like 1 million likes or 1 million views or something like that on TikTok. So really cool. And she's extremely passionate about motorcycles. And you guys know the deal. We love motorcycles around this part of New York City. And she's coming out of ATL. So it's going to be great to kind of hear her story. If you guys have questions, comments you want to throw up, feel free. Be respectful. I always ask that of everyone that's in the live chat. Usually you guys are pretty good. I've never had to encounter anything. So, that's where we do what we do. By the way, guys, before we go any further into it, things has been going extremely, extremely well with wheelie practice. No looping, no oopsies, no nothing. Been practicing in the gutter, in the cold. You guys know the deal. In New York City, it's cold as hell. But thank God your boy is grateful for multiple bikes and being able to jump on multiple things and practice. So wheelie is going extremely well. I had an amazing session today before coming out to do the live stream. So thank you to all that's here tonight. I want to show love and support. By the way, we did lock that deal with Manscaped. So you will see that ad roll through there. If you guys want to show love and support, always great and appreciated for you guys to go and shop. But let's do what we do best, guys. We say what's up to everyone that's here early before we bring on the guests. So let's do that real quick. All right. Hopefully you guys are having a good one, man. Very excited to kind of have everyone out here tonight because I'm telling you now, it takes a lot. Even though I've prepped for it, I've been ready, and I know exactly what's going to go on. It's like, it always come down to the very, like, tail end of me getting everything done before we actually go live. And I'm like, oh my God, I just missed this. I forgot to wear my shirt. So it's pretty wild, man. So let's take a quick look at everybody else. Say what's up. We have wifeys in the building, always here to show love and support. Hi, everyone. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I'm doing amazing. We have also Futuristic Vipers in the building. Sup, Bike Fam, I'm back. By the way, if you guys tuned in, I'd love for you guys to go on Instagram and give Amy a follow, guys. She deserves more than, I think, 10,000 or 11,000 followers on Instagram for sure. One thing that I think is dope about her, pretty classy lady. And you guys know I love classy women that's not leading with everything else. She's passionate about bikes, and that's what she shows, and I like that. So give her a follow as well. You will see her name pop up on the screen when she comes through. We have solo riders in the building. Governor D Nice Bike Family, what's good? Good. Everything, sir. Wheelie practice has been going extremely well. By the way, guys, I'm extremely proud and excited in the very same space because I've upped the game where I'm uploading 3 videos, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So check those out. Comment, thumbs up. The streams, of course, consistently on Sundays, and then we do shorts from Monday to Wednesday. So consistency is the name of the game. Hopefully we get back on the good graces of YouTube. You guys know what's up. Solo riders in the building. What's good, Bike Fam? Another great one for the books. Yes, sir. I'm excited. Steve Turner's in the building. What's up, everyone? Jock in the Box. What's up, everyone? Go ahead and like the stream. Definitely going to be a great one, like always. I think Jock in the Box is actually an ATL. By the way, I think Amy's an ATL as well. So show some of that ATL love. I think Solo Rider's an ATL as well, guys. We have a couple of people that's tuned in. Bud Tussino's in the building. Oh my God, everyone's coming. Anthony, Jacqueline Marquez, some unfamiliar names. If you guys are in, this is your first time tuning into this channel, make sure you're subscribed, hit the thumbs up on the stream. We currently have, quite a few people. The thumbs up, the likes should be just equal to what's on here. All right, so we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna rock that motivation promo, guys, and then we'll get right to it because you guys know Motivation USA is part of my bike family. They sponsor a lot of my builds. Most of my Ducatis, most of the bikes in my garage are pretty much like done by them. Lots of respect, lots of love by them. So let's give Motivation some love real quick, boys. If you guys are looking for any parts, carbon fiber wheels, fairings, you guys know the deal. Links are in the description. Looks awesome. Yeah, I love that bike. If you're not shopping for yourself, you can always go in there. This mod is so simple, yet extremely satisfying. Take a quick look at what you get and how to install it when you shop motivationusa.com. Ilmberger carbon fiber. As you guys know, I'm Mike. Let's get to it. Let's take a look at that. Beautiful finish. The opening seems more... Look how clean that carbon fiber looks. By the way, if you guys are looking for parts for yourself, for you to buy for your bike or any make and model, Triumph, BMWs, Ducatis, Yamahas, whatever. You could just do it from there. That's one way you can support the channel. Whether you want to shop for something else or you want someone else to shop, you can, you know, share the link. That way you support us as well, guys. Let's take a quick look and then we'll get to it. Street Fighter's looking nasty. The Hyper's in the back. The Monster, KLX, and the Super Bike joining the family real soon. Let's get to it, guys. Let's give a warm welcome to Amy, guys. Very excited to have this young lady on. It's really, really dope. So, welcome, Amy, to the show, guys.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you joined us tonight.
Thanks. It's my first podcast I've been, so I am trying to watch the live and then talk to you. But thank you for having me.
Oh, that's a great way to actually start this off. So this is your first, so now you get to tell me your experience about being first time on a stream or a podcast. What do you think?
It's interesting. I think it's pretty good. I don't know. I'm excited.
That's awesome. By the way, you are a name that's been bouncing around quite a bit, and I had to kind of get you on. You probably don't know why your name's being bounced around. Oh, you probably do know. You're super active in the motorcycling and the car space from what we're seeing.
Yeah,
and it's like boots in the ground. You're not just like a digital person where you kind of just posting and stuff like that. You actually go to events, you ride with people, you do track days. So just kind of walk us through some of that stuff so people can know.
Yeah. So like you said, I live in Atlanta, and the car scene here it's always been around, and I've recently got into it over the past couple of years, and I've just made so many friends and a big community. And before I even started to want to post on social media, I just found a lot of friends and then built my passion up from them as well. So yeah, much love to everyone in Atlanta that I ride with all the time, and all the car scene people. I love everybody.
I know you've actually hit some of Fastlane D's meets and stuff. We have a small community. By the way, when you hit those Fastlane D meets, you show up with a small crowd. We know what's up. We're watching. Everybody see. Even in New York, we see what's happening in ATL.
Yeah. He came down here. His SP2.
Mm-hmm.
He came down here with that. That was the first time I've seen him in person. The bike was sick, and honestly, it was a good ride. That was the best group ride I've probably been on. So shout out to him for attracting good people to come ride with him, because it was so much fun.
Dylan is definitely an interesting guy. You know, he's been on the show before. We've met before down in Texas in MotoGP. He's been out here in New York and really tried to catch me to ride. But every now and then he's out here in New York, it's dead cold. And I'm like, nah, we don't do the whole cold riding thing. You know what I mean? So, but what was your experience meeting Dylan and stuff and kind of riding with that group? Because these guys are fast, and I know you're fast.
Barely.
No. You're being modest. Don't try to pull that. I've heard about you rocking with the R1s in the very front of the pack with an R7. Man. What's good?
Yeah, I mean, that was just a fun group ride in general. I briefly talked to him, probably once or twice, and he's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, my bike is not fast at all, but I'll try and keep up.
Yeah, but it's not about a fast. That's what's kind of cool about this, and that's what I think that was extremely interesting. It's not about having a fast bike, really. I mean, as you know, you probably saw my clip on Instagram of me, you know, I like to say play around, because I feel like whenever I'm on that bike, I'm not really riding a bike. I'm playing around on the KLX. It's a ball, really. You know, no matter what kind of bike, how fast it is, always fun. But what I think is very interesting about you is the skill level.
Okay.
All right. It's not just the fact that you have, because you started with an R3, which we'll talk about, and then now you're an R7. I'm guessing we might see an R9 in your future. No, not next year. You're not gonna do it.
I might be going a different brand.
Whoa! What are we thinking? Talk to me.
You know, little S1000.
Oh, she's going BMW. Oh my God. Yo, I'm a closet BMW lover. I'm not even gonna lie. But I had Rev Mira on. I don't know if you've probably seen her on social media, right?
Yeah, we follow each other. She's super dope. Her bike is
super
sick.
dope. Super dope. She is really cool, very classy as well. I like that. And as I mentioned it, she's very well mannered and stuff. I think she was a very dope guest. You should definitely check out the stream. By the way, if you guys are watching, you should check that one out. What's interesting about her is that she's had multiple issues with her BMW that she spoke about. And I've seen some other people, I think they get coil issues or something like that, and she blew up her engine.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's like a known issue. Also, another gentleman that's been in our live stream, he's come through pretty much every time we do a live stream. He's part of the chat. He's been very on edge regarding his BMW S1000, finding out like if it's potentially something that could happen on his. Oh my God, my dog is like really freaking out. No play. That little squeaking you guys are hearing is my dog playing. I'm sorry. That's like totally unprofessional. Oh my goodness. She's having a ball. Whenever I get excited, my energy is up. I walked her for like 40 minutes before the stream. I'm like, yeah, she's going to be good. But back to what I was saying, a couple of people has had issues with it also. I've seen, I think Easy Rider has mentioned it as well. So I don't know. I'd say definitely look into that. I don't know if it's something that's been ironed out for 2023. So just make sure. But it's really a dope bike. I've rode Eve. Eve had let me borrow his for like a day or something like that, and it was amazing. The bike rides itself. It's really fast, connects to your phone, and it's just a breeze to enjoy, really. So I think you'd probably love it too.
Yeah.
Have you ridden one though?
I have.
Ooh, that's
my boyfriend had a 2014, and that, like, even the older models, they're fantastic bikes, and I honestly like the way the older ones look with like the asymmetrical headlights and everything like that, and like the bodywork on the sides. I think that was not better than the thing, but it's different and it looks just sick. But yeah, it was honestly, I've ridden a bunch of different bikes, like my buddy's V4S or V4, yeah, V4S.
Wait, you rode a V4 and you still siding with BMW? Talk to me about that.
I actually rode today. I've ridden it like a bunch of times, but I do enjoy that bike. It's just a lot of bike.
Yes, sir.
Like, it just feels like really heavy. I sit like really high up. Like, it's a lot of bike. The S1000 was like really comfortable. It was smooth, and I feel like the Ducati is like a lot more like raw power. The power settings he has me ride it on. I think I would be more comfortable and more like enjoying like the ride on an S1000 from what I've ridden. I haven't rode like a new one, which I would be interested in riding, but the 2014 was just honestly still the best bike I've ridden so far.
It's one of those things that leaves an impact. I think when you've had an experience the first time with something that you really enjoy, it leaves this feeling behind that. Even I'm sure that you've had this happen before, where you've tried something that was like so amazing, you had such a great time with it, and then maybe like 3 years down the line, you go back to it and try it again. It's like, the thrill is not the same. It's really the memory that's as exhilarating, not the actual experience, because the time has passed and things has changed. And I'm finding that that happened with people in most cases, whether you tried an RSV4, you tried the BMW, you tried a Ducati. It's like, oh my God, I got to get one after you ride it, because the excitement. This is why I struggle with when I watch people on YouTube and stuff like that. They're they do a review on something and they're just like so amped. It happens to all of us. We get excited, we talk about it, in high regards. We can't see the flaws because of the excitement, the thrill, and we're so quickly to kind of, you should get this. I'm gonna go grab one too. I think over an extended period of time, that you could really have a great judgment call as how good something is. So that's pretty interesting.
That's why I like watching the videos where they're like, I've had like my R6 for 30 days. This is what I still think about it. Because it's like you're used to it at that point. And you've ridden for however many miles. And you're like, okay, it's not new to me, but I can actually give like an honest review about it in general. So, but that's like how I am. Like with Ducati, I've ridden that maybe like 5 or 6 times. My buddy's, my best friend's boyfriend's bike. So, and she just got a V2. So like he let me take the V4S out with her on her V2, and it's so much fun. But so I've ridden that a bunch of times, but I still always go back to like, I still want an S1000 from those couple times I rode it. It's just that's just my bike. I know in my head that's the next one.
So it's one of those things that left an impact. Like there's an imprint there that you have to kind of get one. But I think overall that you can't lose between all of those bikes. Pretty much BMW, Ducati, pretty much any of these top tier brands at this exact moment, you can't really lose. They're all magnificent motorcycles. But one thing I really love with what Ducati is doing, me personally, bit of a fanboy here. The fact that the rear cylinders deactivate when the bike is not, you know, really rocking really hard, or let's say you come to a stop. Some of the tech that goes into these motorcycles moving forward, which I think you'll see in a lot of spaces, Ducati does this amazing job, at least with this motorcycle, coming from where they came from, because I've been with Ducati for a long time. So I've seen the chugging, you have to be a really experienced rider to ride it, to now, you know, it's just like a BMW. If you want to put it on like, not literally cruise control, but like where it rides itself, you know, slide control, wheelie control, you know, like leaning angles and everything else. It pretty much does those things. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I'm going to shift gears here because you're pretty big on TikTok. You're doing pretty well, right?
I hope. I want to grow. That's my goal, is to grow. So
what's your overall idea? I want to know, what is the overall idea that you want to do? Because like I said, between a lot of the girls that we tend to have on the show, I'm pretty particular on who I bring on, even though people recommend them. I go through their page and check certain things out. I think between Rev Mira, I think I've had Laura Craft, I've had Red Spade on as well. They all share very similar. They're extremely passionate about motorcycles, and it's really about bikes and stuff, and them, you know, enjoying the ride and being respectable riders. I think you fall in that exact category. And I want to know, what's your overall idea? Are you going to stick to TikTok or Instagram, or are you looking to further doing this as a career, or is it something that you're just doing for fun and then really just enjoying bikes?
yeah, so I actually just graduated from college with an actuarial science degree. So I'm looking to get more into that, obviously, because I spent 4 years achieving that. But I just recently started doing TikTok, and it wasn't like I'm gonna set out to like get followers and like do stuff. I was just like enjoying the process of making videos and like looking at the trends and like just posting. I posted a few videos, and then like one video caught, and I was like, this is pretty easy to like gain traction on TikTok because of their algorithm that they have. So I posted reels on Instagram before, but nothing really like caught. And so I started like finding like an audience and like finding like how I wanted to represent myself, and like truly like just enjoying like the practice of like going out and like with my friends and filming stuff, or like putting videos together and like editing them to like music and stuff like that. And then I just started being more consistent with it, and I watched a couple other people do the same thing, and like I kind of like watched them grow too, and I got inspired by that. And I think that the motorcycle community on social media in general is becoming more of like a broader known like thing. So I grew up a little bit more on TikTok and stuff, and I try to stick to TikTok because my Instagram's a little bit more personal like right now. But I started getting followers on TikTok, and I started reaching out to brands for like, you know, endorsements or like, you know, sponsorship, or just like sending me stuff. And like they actually responded and like sent me things, and I was like, this is real, like this is kind of cool that I get to like share my hobby and then get things to help me enjoy my hobby even more, which just makes me absolutely just ecstatic to be able to do. And I always wanted to do YouTube. Like I didn't know what I wanted to do, but like as a kid, I've always wanted to like vlog or like do something like that. And now that I have like a specific niche, I'm like, I really want to start doing YouTube. So my goal is to like build TikTok a little bit more, I think, and like gain like a consistent audience, hopefully, and then move over to vlogging, like moto vlogging, or just like track vlogging. I want to go to the track a lot more this next season. I think that those would be really fun to film. So yeah, I am excited to grow in general and just like share my love for motorcycles, because that's really at the end of the day what I freaking love. So yeah.
That's awesome that we spoke about. You mentioned brands reaching out. Oh, well, you reached out to some, and then some people are working with you. So can you give us a rundown with some of the brands that you're currently working with, and what was the process, and what are some of the brands that you're working with, and what are you promoting? Are they things that you just naturally needed, or things that, since they are sending them to you, you're just kind of rolling with the punches kind of thing?
Yeah. So a couple of brands like reached out to me, and that was, I think one brand reached out to me, which was the first time I had ever even thought about working with a brand. And I was like, oh my God, they reached out to me. I have like 20,000 followers on TikTok. I was like, this is a scam, but it wasn't. But it wasn't. And I was really excited to work with them. But then I started like purposely, intentionally reaching out to other brands like as I grew more and like became more consistent with posting. So a couple of the brands I work with now are Cardo, Insta360, um, QuadLock. QuadLock was another one. Those are like the big three that I have been working with, and I need to promote more. And I just recently got some of that stuff to promote, so I haven't been promoting it as much. But those three are like, that was so cool to become an affiliate with them, because I've been using Cardo for the entirety of my like writing experience. I've bought 2 Cardos myself. So like working with them, I'm like, this is so cool because I already really appreciate their products. So I feel like I can accurately represent like who they are as a company because I already like them.
By the way, I might as well say this while we're out here. You guys know that we've been on the channel quite a bit. We have a few sponsors. Cardo just joined the channel as well. So heads up, guys, this is kind of a great thing. She's working with Cardo. We're working with Cardo. So that's awesome. So might as well mention that we're currently shooting the promo that's going to be running just like the Manscaped one that we run through here for Cardo as well. So very excited about that. Now, you did mention with all the brands that you're working with, is it that they're providing the products, or it's paid sponsorship, or it's kind of like in between at the moment? So not to go into numbers, I don't want you to go in specifics or anything like that. Just pretty broad.
No, yeah. I mean, as of right now, I literally was just like, if you send me free stuff, I would be fine with that. Like, all of them I have like a affiliate code. So if someone buys it through my link, you know, the deal, I get like a small commission from it.
Yeah.
Which is cool because I don't mind that. I got the free products and they let me pick out what I wanted and I use them and I love them. So I don't mind promoting them. And on top of that, if someone buys it, I get a little bit of money for that. And that's just so far what it's been. You know, if I grow more, hopefully it become more of like a you know, paid post or like sponsors or something like that. But that's it for like right now.
Well, you're gonna have to be optimistic. It is gonna grow. It's only gonna go upwards. I think if you keep the same momentum and keep on you know, chugging along, of course it's bound to grow. So guys, quick little moment here. We're just gonna roll our Manscaped promo, so hang tight. Lots more to come with Amy, guys. I know you guys are excited because she's pretty dope. There's so much more we have to cover for the night, but take a quick look. Big shout out to Manscaped for joining the channel. Let's welcome Manscaped to FreeStyle Sunday, a proud sponsor of the channel. Boy, I'm excited to tell you guys, it's something you're gonna have to get. Manscaped is the absolute best when it comes to men's grooming down there. Trust me, I'm good to go. Wifey would agree.
That's right.
They also provided the Performance Package 4.0. You can join me and 7 million other men worldwide by using coupon code CFNY20 for free shipping and 20% off. You won't regret it. You hit me up later, be like, man, when I got off the bike, I felt good and fresh. The Performance Package 4.0 is an absolute game changer. Here's what comes in the package. The Lawnmower Trimmer 4.0, Weed Whacker Ear and Nose Hair Trimmer. It also includes the Crop Reviver Toner, and my favorite out of everything else, a high quality boxer. It's absolutely breathable. So when you're out there on the road riding your motorcycle all day, you're not gonna sweat through it, especially with ball deodorant in combination with those boxers. Trust me, you're good to go at all time, guys. They also even include a travel case. Amazing value. The Lawnmower 4.0 has advanced technology with a ceramic blade that's gonna tremendously reduce the chance of you nicking yourself. Get 20% off with free shipping with code CFNY20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code CFNY20. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tool for the job with Manscaped. There we go, boys. See, nice and simple. We keeping it nice and easy. Appreciate you guys tuning in at all time, guys. So yeah, bringing back Amy. There you go. Man, she's all fancy. Well, that's really cool that you're getting these sponsors, and it was a perfect time for me to kind of roll that Manscaped one, and they've been a nice contributor to the channel, so very excited for that. So in terms of the content you shoot on TikTok and Instagram, do you have a team that works with you? Because your Instagram is really clean looking, and I really love the overall vibe in it. It's not just like, it's not just, you know what? Let me think of the best way to phrase this, because I think I gotta do this right, and I gotta do you right and present it right. In a way, the vibe is really dope, right? It's really motorcycle driven, and it's not like, look at me, me, me. It's really about the bike and the passion, and then you're like the side character to it. You know what I mean? In conjunction, you know what I mean? I think that's really cool. I think often we see when it's other girls that does it, they put themselves first, and then the bike, it's an afterthought. When yours, it's like, this is what I like. I enjoy riding. I enjoy, the bike culture. Really, really cool. I'm actually going to pull up your Instagram, guys. Definitely give her a follow. If not, I'm going to see you guys. Let's pull this up real quick. I definitely want to highlight this. Take a quick look. Go ahead, Amy. You're going to walk us through it as I have this posted up right here.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I don't have like a specific team. I live in Atlanta, so like there's so many talented videographers and photographers here, and I've become friends with a lot of them through like the car scene and the bike scene, just like Instagram and social media in general. And they're open to collaborate and experiment with like different shots, and a lot of them have never shot with like bikes and stuff before, so like it's really easy to find like good people that want to work with you and just like work on their own craft with you. So a lot of my stuff, I get like good pictures from my friends that are just super dope with the camera.
By the way, I have to ask you this. By the way, what's your nationality?
I'm a quarter Japanese and then just like white.
Oh boy, I was gonna get it, man. I'm so good with it. I was like, yo, I can tell. In that other cut where I'm looking at it, I'm like, wait a minute, she white?
Yeah.
Or she's Asian? Because my wife is Asian, so I'm like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, my God.
My mom is half Japanese and my dad's white, so.
That's awesome. That's awesome. But yeah, it's so with the collabs that you do on Instagram and TikTok, do you just filter those content from one platform to the other and kind of thing, or you just kind of do a brand new thing for each platform?
Right now, I really want to be more consistent. I have not been like as consistent as I should be, or I could be on Instagram and stuff, but I've learned to just kind of take like the same videos and like present them in different ways on different platforms, because different platforms have different algorithms and different things that catch to like an audience. So, and different trends and such like that. So that's kind of what I do. I don't like just like copy and paste the video. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't like to do that. But half of this stuff is kind of fun for me to like learn how social media works. And it's kind of given me a little bit of a passion for just like understanding, audience and like algorithm stuff like that. So that's normally what I do for videos and stuff.
You know what I find that's super interesting? We've interviewed quite a few people, and everyone has the same energy. Oh, I'm very passionate about doing social media or doing YouTube or Instagram. And I'm slowly seeing a shift. Even with myself, I'm actually seeing this. I actually shot a video today while I was doing wheelie practice, pretty much the same thing. How most people are falling into a space, which I always give that advice to pretty much a lot of the people that are tuned in. A lot of them are potential content creators or want to jump in. It's something that I've learned out of all the years as I've been doing videos and stuff like that, being on YouTube and stuff like that. It's becoming less about the content, more about understanding about the patterns and what works and what doesn't, because that's always changing. I think content's becoming the afterthought of planning. Right? You agree?
Yeah. On it, but that's sad, because I see a lot of great content from people sometimes that they don't have a following, so it doesn't get out in the algorithm. Yep. Or like the algorithm doesn't catch it, but it's like a great video with like great cinematography and stuff like that. And it sucks, but it definitely helps to understand the algorithm. But I think that, like you said, you shouldn't get caught up in it. You should also like want to make quality content, not just like quantity. So I agree with that.
Funny thing is, I've actually struggled with the same thing. I mean, I've mentioned it before with other people that while they're on the stream, is that I think early on I was very hard-headed in regards to like, I have a creative background, so it's more like I want to do creative stuff, and I feel like that's going to bubble up to the very top at some point. But I think after a period of time, you soon realize that's not how it works. You're going to have to find a balance between being creative and then following the trends and the waves and kind of falling somewhere until you get to actually where you want to go. I don't think you could be free, like where you could do anything you want to produce, like a Mr. Beast or PewDiePie or something like that, or Casey or whatever. You have to reach a point. Until then, you have to fall in line. And till this very day, I actually struggle with this because I still want to do what I want to do. And usually that's not what people want to see, kind of thing. Right. But at least I walk away with some sort of pride knowing what I did. For example, I uploaded a video today which was shot and edited this morning. You know, I don't know if it's going to do extremely well, but I'm very happy that I was able to kind of put that together in that same time frame. So, yeah.
Yeah. I have, like, block a lot of the time with, like, what I want to post because I'm like, oh, this is not quite good enough for me to, like, want to put it out there, but I would need to post because I feel like I need to be more consistent. So then I just, like, have a mental block where I'm like, I have nothing to post, but I need to post, and I don't want to put out something I don't like or, like, I don't know. And, like, for me, I need, like, more, like, a good camera to go out and film myself because I just, like, have to film my iPhone stuff for now, and I feel like I could definitely do a lot better. So it's just, like, all in my head, too, which is why I need to push myself to be more consistent with it if it's something I, like, really want to do.
I don't think, you know, the thing is, I think there's a space for everything. I think when you're producing something like a bigger piece of content, I think it's perfectly fine to have some pre-prep work or some professional equipment to do it. But I think in most cases, to kind of get your channel off the ground, just using your phone, just do just fine because you should be able to capture a lot of stuff. I think even if you look at, you've been to some of the road racing scene or at least joined some of those rides, you've seen most of the guys that are uploading really quickly, they're doing it with their phone. And I think that's even something I struggle too, where it's like, because I like to produce things. I like a great production. But I think time frame. Oh, Miso, stop. She runs into my home office and just kind of like mess around. I fall into the trap where I'm like overproducing something. I'm just like, sometimes I feel like I might really be a background guy, not like a forefront guy, which is kind of strange. Because I think initially I was like, yeah, I want to create this channel. I want to create this environment for a place where people want to talk motorcycles and just enjoy stories, whether it's, you know, designing or painting or whatever it is, as long as it's motorcycle connected. And I'm still, even when I went to Detroit and I shot some of the road racing scene, and it's like, damn, I actually really like doing the background stuff. But I don't think it's very difficult to get that off the ground, like, as you're going to have a face to it. So, but yeah.
I agree with that. I think that, like, people's pages where, like, a lot of motorcycle content creators, like, they hide their face and stuff. And I honestly think people like when you put a face to things and, like, have a personality, like, show. I think people love that. And I've seen, like, all the very popular, like, moto vloggers and stuff like that. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like some of them don't show their face, but you can tell how the way they talk, they have a personality and have a certain way of doing things that's like, I know them as a person and not just like their bike too.
Well, you know what's so funny? I think my wife shared the same sentiment. I think in the very beginning when I started motovlogging, my wife was like, oh, you know, you should show yourself. I never really showed myself for a very long period of time. She was like, trust me, it's going to be the better thing for you to kind of do because people will relate. And it's so funny how you mentioned that as well. I think, you know, a lot of us don't think about it that way. And I think it's a dying thing where motovloggers don't show who they are. Every now and then you have a couple of the big ones that are known, that's already well known throughout the industry. But I think moving forward, I think it's going to be very difficult not to actually have a face for people to connect to because people want to know who they're working with, kind of thing. So who are some of your favorite motovloggers? Who do you watch?
I watch IMK a lot, and then I kind of stopped watching people on YouTube. I started just like watching things on TikTok just because that's where my attention span is right now. But let's see. My friend Maddie, she makes content too on TikTok, and I'm actually friends with her now, which is super cool. I watched Blondie for a little bit, but she doesn't really post anymore.
Blondie. She does trips, right? Big trips and like. No, that's I'm mixing them up. There's another girl on YouTube.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I'm talking about Blondie Moto Vlog. She had an R1.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, Blondie. Oh my god, I forgot about. Oh my god, I just remember I was mixing her with this other moto vlogger, which I actually really like a lot. She does a lot of travel videos and kind of show her travels where she's riding a lot of dirt bikes, a lot of adventure bikes. She's really cool, actually, to be honest. She's probably one of the top female content creators in my personal opinion, but I think she might have a team producing some of this stuff for her. Maybe. I don't know.
Sweet. Yeah.
But Blondie definitely disappeared.
I know. I honestly, I liked her. Her personality is pretty cool, and I like her like tomboy-esque like attitude. Like she just got out there and did it, and like popping wheelies and stuff, and like that's kind of how I like to do things too.
I think people like her for different reasons. It's so funny how you mentioned how she like kind of tomboyish that you like. The funny thing is, what I like about Blondie is her writing. That's it.
She is also
she's
very
a great writer.
skilled. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some of her track stuff, and I'm like, that's how I want to ride. Like I mean, it's what you were talking about earlier. You're like, you have like skill or whatever. I truly like think that's because I spent so much time on my 300, and I like understand how like bikes work and like how it works with me. And then I put like 8,000 or 9,000 miles on that, and then I have 13 and a half on my R7 now. I got it last year. Like I just love riding, and I feel like it's different than just sitting there and just like sitting straight up and just like going in a straight line. Like riding that's not riding, you know? Like riding has like passion in it, and like has like a lot of like, it's like a connection with the bike. I feel
a lot
like.
of intricacies.
Yeah, intricacies. But yeah, but you can tell that she is like that. Like she's connected like to her bike and like whatever bike she's on. And I like enjoy watching her ride because I can tell that she really like loves it and is skillful in it.
I agree. I think she's definitely a really good rider. I think her. I'm just curious. You know what? The thing is, I think actually Blondie, personally, I think Blondie blew up not just because she's a girl. I think it's because she's a dope rider. I've had so many guys hit me up say, "Yo, she rides hard. She's, whipping around doing all kinds of stuff." And in a lot of cases, I think, not to make it like a girl and a guy thing kind of thing. In a lot of cases, but then again, it's all about how people carry the whole thing. A lot of girls tend to carry it one way where it's like, "Look at me, the bike is in the background." With her, it's like, "Watch me go hard." So I think her whole thing where people hit me up, it's like, "Yo, have you seen Blondie? She rides hard." She's known for that instead of the opposite. So it's kind of interesting as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm. So how do you like that R1? I'm going to have to ask you because I rode one for a few days while I was out in Texas. It wasn't my favorite bike. Not to knock yours.
R7?
Sorry, the R7. I apologize.
Okay.
R7. Wasn't my favorite, but then it's possible that I've been so spoiled with some of the other stuff that I'm having a difficult time connecting. But then I've been riding a motocross bike, and I've been enjoying that tremendously. But then it's probably because I'm searching for a different skill set. But when I rode the R7, my experience with it was, now that I'm thinking about it, I got time to sit on it and really ride the bike. And thinking about it, I think I just had a different expectation. I think the fact that they're using the ethos of the R6 and then R7, and then it wasn't that. And I was like, what the hell's this? So that's what it is. But for you, it's going to be a different experience because you're coming from an R3 to an R7. So that's different. My perspective is completely different from yours. So just talk to us about that bike, or coming from the R3 to the R7. I know you spent like almost 10K miles on the R3. So your perspective is going to be very different from mine. So I'd love to hear your take because I'm going to ride that bike again, just give it another shot. So, yeah.
You should. Did the bike that you have have a quick shifter or like an exhaust on it?
Yeah, it did. It had pretty much everything. It was a motivation bike. Yeah, it had everything. It was just, I feel like I was just revving that bike out. And we were doing some crazy highways in Texas, and we were just like going hard. But the bike, I was just revving it out. I was pretty much like, and even with a Triumph Street Triple, it had a hard time keeping up with a Street Triple. Yeah. We're talking about street line stuff. That's different from actually keeping up and like twisties and turns and stuff. That's different. That's a different set of skills. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, honestly, the R7 has been a really good bike to me. I bought it brand new, like when they first came out. So no one really had them and no one really had an opinion on them. And it was either that or an R6, and an R6 was 13,000 used and the R7 was like 10.5 out the door brand new. And I was like, I'm gonna try a new bike. I'm gonna try a new class of this Yamaha because I really loved my R3. So I was like, I'm just gonna keep it with the Yamaha family. So I bought the bike and it was different from the R3 because there's like, there's a lot more torque and stuff. So I had to get used to that. But other than that, it's slimmer than all the other R models and it's so nimble. You can just throw it into corners and stuff like that. And it comes out like just like with power because of the torque. And it's honestly, it was great on at the track. The only thing I have a complaint about is the straightaways because everyone would pass me on the straightaways, even though I'm, flat out. That's my only complaint. Other than that, it was my first time on the track at Road A. And that's kind of, I've heard it's a harder track compared to some other ones. And so I was honestly expecting to like baby the crap out of my bike and like take it easy, but the R7 made it very easy for me to like feel out corners, and I got like really low without like scraping my knee, but like I got pretty close and I didn't feel like the bike was too much for me, and I felt like it was very nimble and light, and it really made me appreciate it a lot more than just riding it throughout the city because I live like right in Atlanta, like in the city. Mm-hmm. So stoplight to stoplight, it's also great because of all like the linear torque and everything like that. It's not like an R6 where you're only gonna have fun in like the high RPMs.
Yes.
It's a really good bike to just like commute. I went to school, gym, work on that bike. That's why it has so many miles on it. But I've loved it. I think I might keep it and then track it and then just get like a bigger bike for street. And then, once I'm more comfortable with R7, track the bigger bike. But it's honestly, it's a great bike. But I can see what you're saying from you have Ducatis. So,
oh my, why you gotta say it like that? Oh my God.
Anything lower than a Ducati, you're probably like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Wow, that was...
Whew, it was
with the light jab, son.
No, it really was like.
I know.
You have like the best of the best made motorcycles. So when you get on a bike that's everyone else considers underpowered for this class or whatever, you're gonna be like, yeah, this is really underwhelming.
But it is.
But coming from me, it's nice.
No, what you said is correct though, because exactly what you said, it is perfect when you on track, you're doing all the turns with it, which is perfect. We were heading to Coda. Straight, there's some serious straightaways there, and I'm like tucked in all the way. I'm like flat out. I'm like, what else? Give it to me. It's like SE Project over there. Yeah. It's tuned, everything. I'm like double bubble on it. And come on, man, I need to be cutting through the.
Yeah, it's really funny because I was at the track and I think there was like this Gixxer like 600 like in front of me. And in the corners, like, I'd be like, I want to pass this guy so bad, but I can't because I'm a novice. And then we would come out of the curve and he would just not let me pass him on the straightaway. And I had to be behind him for like the whole session. And I was like, I need a bigger bike because of the straightaways. But the corners are so much fun. But yeah.
So you had that R3 for a long time. And from the sound of it, was that your first bike?
Yeah, the R3 was my first bike.
So I'm assuming, did you hire someone to actually work on your bike? I've seen on your Instagram that I see your hands getting dirty, so that's a good look. So walk us through that. Not everybody does, by the way. We do have, by the way, before we move forward, let me just kind of say what's up to everybody. We have 650 Eves in the building. What's up? We have Kuya 33 is in the building. Who else we got? Sasong's here. There's quite a few more people joining, guys. If you're on later, all right, definitely. If you have any questions also for Amy, drop them in the comment section. Also, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Your boy need that support. Why not? Okay, don't be stingy. It doesn't cost you anything. There's a few more faces I know that jump in. Covert Mecca's in the building also. Yeah, more people are coming through. David Pasione's in the building. He's also been on the channel as well. Really dope guy. He's the painter of Eve's BMW HP4. So really, really dope. I'm actually gonna have him back on. He has a new page where he's promoting his painting work, custom paint, helmet, custom painted carbon fiber pieces. Really dope guy. Also, he's like a wheelie star, by the way. Your boy be dropping me some tips here and there, so salute. Oh man, so quite a few people tuning in, but yeah, back to you. So, oh my God, I hope you're having a good experience being on your first podcast stream, because that was like a little crazy. I'm like, I hope she's actually gonna have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, if it's talking about motorcycles, I'll talk about it to anyone listening. So this is great that it's for that purpose.
So Anthony mentioned here, what got you into motorcycles?
So I liked cars first. I'll just say that. I really enjoyed cars first, but I started enjoying that while I was in college. So obviously I was on a college budget and I couldn't afford like any project car. It just wasn't something I could financially do. I kind of was like, okay, what can I do to still get this experience of like motorsports stuff? And I would have always kind of liked looking at motorcycles and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get one. And I literally knew nobody that had a motorcycle. I didn't know anybody in the motorcycle scene in Atlanta. I just knew kind of like a few car people. Mm-hmm. So I literally Googled, I was like, how do I get my motorcycle license? And there was like an ad for the
MSF course.
The MSF course at the DDS near me. Signed up for it, did my first little day in the parking lot, and I was like, this is what I'm gonna do for the next however many years. Like, I love this. And I was just going in circles in a parking lot and I already loved it. So I was like, this is it. So I passed and I went and got my endorsement on my license, and then I was doing my research on bikes. I literally had no clue about bikes, honestly. Like, I did YouTube and stuff, but I did not have a good understanding of them at all. And I went into the dealer looking for a Ninja 650, and the guy told me the wrong price, and I had come in with cash, and so I left with the R3 instead. And honestly, I think that happened for a reason, because I loved the R3 so much. But yeah, so basically it's just because I was broke and I didn't have enough money for cars.
So guys, she's a temporary rider. As soon as she can get it.
No, it's become more.
Wait, are you gonna be a doctor? You gonna be a doctor?
A doctor?
Yeah, you said you studied science, right?
Oh, it's actuarial science. So it's in risk management. Sorry? It's in risk management and like insurance and stuff.
Okay.
I'm going to be an actuary, which it deals with like a lot of mathematics and like statistics and stuff like that, which is funny because I'm literally doing like one of the riskiest hobbies, right? But I'm going into risk management. So I don't know. That's just what I ended up doing.
So when she start getting that money, boys, she's gonna go back to cars.
No. That's what I was trying to get at. Is like, I didn't expect it to be this much of a passion of mine, and now honestly, I can't see myself not riding. Like, I will always have a bike as long as I physically can.
Anthony asked also, what got you into motorcycles? Because you were too poor to get a car.
Yeah,
I guess.
That's just like bluntly what happened. But I mean, I don't know. I think I started seeing stuff like on social media about bikes and stuff, and I grew up driving a manual transmission. Like, that was my first car. I still have that car. So I drove manual for like five years when I tried to learn how to ride a motorcycle. So when I got on the motorcycle at MSF course, I literally understood the clutch and the gas, like, just from instantly, the get-go.
Yeah.
And I've already felt connected to my car and like loved driving it just because I love driving manual, and I understood like what it takes to like what happens in the engine, like when you push in the clutch and like change gears and stuff. So like I kind of took that and put it into motorcycles, and I fell in love and I learned it really easily. So I picked it up from there and then just kind of learned along the way about everything and just became more passionate about it.
Power Moto mentioned here, did you have a mentor at some point? So I know in the beginning you just fell into it, but did you end up meeting somebody at some point that became a guide, sort of?
Not really. I don't. I like. I literally knew no one. I'm actually surprised. Like I literally threw myself into it, and I just like took the course, got a bike. I rode along with my car friends at the time. Just like I was like the only bike, and I would just ride with them, and it kind of became like, oh, there's Amy on her bike. Let's just like go ride. La, la, la. I'm like the only bike, and there's like 20 cars, and and it was so much fun. But I didn't like have like a specific like this person is teaching me about bikes. It's kind of like everyone I met along the road and like became friends with, and they give me, pointers and tips. And then social media, I made lots of friends like in long places, like faraway places, and I've been learning from everyone, I guess. So I don't have like a specific mentor in a way.
So here's the funny thing is this has been kind of in the space in regards to what you're saying. Also, Solo Rider mentioned it did Fast and the Furious inspired your passion for both cars and bikes. She got some action-packed videos on IG. So based on what you're saying now, I could see, you mentioned you do like cars, you drive stick shift. I could see a little of that being crossed. I'm going to pull up your Instagram as you talk about this, by the way. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be really honest, and everyone makes fun of me for it. I literally watched the first Fast and Furious like last year.
Holy crap! You don't know about family?
I mean, I've watched it a couple times since then, but like, I never watched it, and I always got made fun of from my friends. And I finally watched it, and I was like, this is sick. Especially like the bike scene. I was like, these are like all these old like R1s and stuff, and it was pretty cool to see. Now that I know what the bikes are and stuff.
Oh my God, you're soon gonna get pretty tired of Vin Diesel saying it's all about family.
Yeah.
Everything is about family.
Family.
I'm gonna roll this clip here. Might as well take a quick look at it.
That's a weak disease. Hold on, run up. If you're broken in my business, then just shut up. Don't hang with jealous bitches. That's a weak disease. Hold on, run up. If you're broken in my business, then just shut up.
So stuff like this, is this shot by you? Well, of course it's not gonna be shot by you because you're actually behind the camera.
Yeah, that was one of my friends. His name's Hayden, and what is it called? He has a brand called like Unrendered, and that's his videography thing. And he wanted to like experiment doing bike stuff too, and so I just was like, here I am, tell me what to do, and I'll just like let you make the video. And then I just posted it too. But he's a pretty good photographer, and that's like videographer, and that's when I started first like liking making reels and stuff. So that was like an older one.
So quick thing here. A few people are relating to your story here. Kuya mentioning I started the same way with my street bike here in SoCal. Rode with all my friends who had cars, but then I was the guy with the sport bike. So very interesting how so many people kind of somewhat fell into a similar setup as you by like initially. I think most people like cars in the beginning because I think we're all exposed to cars because it's very common. You see regular cars, everyday cars, and then you start seeing some of the nice cars. That's very common. Motorcycles are the uncommon thing. Either you had like an uncle or something like that, or some weird story you heard about somebody getting hurt on a bike. So I think that's why we kind of see, it's pretty common. And I think people tend to transition from cars to motorcycles because motorcycles are more cost effective. So that's pretty common. There's one more here by Die David. By the way, guys, I'm seeing a lot of new name on the stream and the podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and also give Amy here a follow on Instagram. And she's pretty private, so if you want to really show her love, which I will link her TikTok in the description, I'd appreciate it if you guys all kind of go and give her a follow and help her grow. And that's very important at what we do here in terms of bringing guests on and have a good conversation. You guys get to enjoy her story, and in the same space, she grows her brand. So that's a nice little trait, I'd say.
Thanks.
Let's see here. I know there's a few more that's coming up. Oh my God. All the information's coming up all at the same time. So I'm going to kind of give you the floor here so you can kind of, let the people know how long you've been riding. And I know you do track as well. And then I'll just take a quick stroll through this. All right?
Okay.
All right.
Like reading the comments, I guess? Or...
No. You could just walk us through you riding and doing track. I knew you started doing track. So how did you even get into track? Because it sounded like you got into the industry pretty cool. We're talking about like you just wanting it. And then you took it upon yourself to get the course done, and then you're riding and falling in love with it. It wasn't like through proxy. A lot of people tend to fall into this via proxy, but not you. So, and then you transition to track. So I guess walk us through that.
Yeah. Well, number one, Atlanta is not the best place to ride because people are crazy over here. So I never like really felt like I could open up my bike and really ride it how I wanted to. And of course I like met friends along the way, and I have friends now that track a lot more. Track a lot more than other people, and like I've never tracked before. So I was like, take me to the track with you next time. Let's just sign up for a Road Atlanta day and let's just go do it. And so I got like the full suit and everything. And my first track day was actually like really exhausted. I did not sleep at all. So I had like 2 hours of sleep, and I still just like I went off adrenaline the whole day. But it really let me see like how I truly ride, and like I've learned so much things from like the coaches there. Like I went with N2. So they were a little bit more relaxed than I thought they would be, with like, passing and things like that. But the coaches like really helped me to not be kind of freaked out by the other riders and stuff. And like they taught me about like hand positioning, and like I accidentally dragged my toe one time, and they were like, tuck your feet in. Like I didn't think about that before. So I learned a lot of technical skills that day, and it made me just like want to go back and learn more and like get to really know my bike and be really comfortable on it enough to like ride a bigger bike on the track now.
You know what's so funny you mentioned this? My last guest I had, he was really big. Well, not the last one. I think last few episodes, he was pretty adamant about joining track. He's out here in Jersey, and he recommended getting like these small race bikes. I think I've seen Josh Herring on one of those. I think that in the future I'm probably gonna grab one of those to kind of mess around. Also do like a track day on a go-kart course or something like that, because I think there's a couple near me. But there's a question that's spamming here quite a bit. I wanted to see if you want to chime in on that. By Jacqueline Marquez and Anthony's question. They're asking, what does your family and your parents think about you riding and stuff like that? So that would have totally flew over my head. I should have thought about asking this question. It's pretty common. So what's your thought, family's thought?
Yeah, that's fair. And I'm younger, so like I'm still like...
What's younger?
Well, when I started riding, I was 21.
Okay.
So it's still kind of like your parents still kind of think of you as like you're still a baby kind of a thing. And so I moved out of my house. Like I lived in like the college dorms for a little bit, but I came home and I like moved in officially into my own apartment. And then literally 3 months later, I got my bike, and my mom's just like, you have all the independence in the world now, and you just want to get a bike. I was like, yes. And I like came home and I told my parents, like I took the MSF course, like brought them the booklet and everything, and they were like, you're not gonna get a bike, are you? I was like, no. And then 2 weeks later, I like sent my mom a picture of my bike, and she's just like, well, I hope you got gear and I hope you got insurance, because that's crazy that you actually did that. My dad was like, yeah, my daughter's cool as heck. Like my dad was a lot more like happier about it. But I mean, it's just kind of like, it depends where you stand with your parents. Like if you're close with them or like you live under their roof, it's going to be a lot more harder to like get them to understand that. I mean, reasonably so. If my daughter got a bike, I'd be sketched out about it.
Really?
But,
oh my God. It really seemed like your parents like took it really well, by the way. And I'm like, damn, that's actually a good look. Even for me, my parents was like, oh my God, every time you're on a bike. Every time my mom sees me, she's like, you on the bike again? When are you going to get rid of it, kind of thing, as she says. Meanwhile, there's like, the garage is like growing and growing and growing.
yeah.
I'm like, if you only knew what's happening, you don't know.
No clue.
So that's kind of cool, actually, to be honest. I think in most cases, actually, probably I'd say maybe 90% of the time, I think Rev Mira had the similar situation where her parents was like, nope. And it was pretty much like a make it or break it situation of her getting a bike. So, like I said, most of us, even including myself, my parents weren't very happy regarding the whole bike thing. But I think over time, again, you mentioned something that's very important. When you're under your own roof, that's when it's the easiest. You can do what you want. It can't be you know, people can't dictate what you do when you don't have to follow anyone's rules. So, you know, boys, if you want to get to it, you want to get into those two wheels, put your big boy pants on and get your own place and make your own rules. And then nobody can tell you what you can or can't do.
Very true. Very true.
Oh, man. We have Fast Lane D's in the building also tonight. You better hit that thumbs up because you know what it means, Dylan. I'll find you and you know what's up. We spoke about you too earlier. We said a ton of terrible things. Just so you're aware, we don't like you.
No.
Absolutely not. You know the deal. We have Dragoness Moto. So many people are showing up, guys. You know what? Tonight's one of the better nights of us doing the stream. I am very happy and excited that I'm continuously doing this every Sunday night and bringing you new guests. Even though it's a handful, by the way, guys, if you only knew, I'm like editing videos on my way to work, editing videos on my way back to work, from work, emailing people like Amy here to come on and following trails. It's something crazy. We also have Ducati Pilot. Happy birthday belated birthday. It was his birthday recently. He's a Ducati boy as well. And Dragoness Moto, hold on here. Anthony and Jacqueline Marquez. More questions are coming in. I think you're more one of the active people tonight. Everyone wants to know what's up about you. Half Japanese, half white, and full of motorcycle passion. We'll take it, boys.
Yes.
And most importantly, what I like, she's classy. Dragoness Moto is pretty dope too. I think you would really like her as well. She's been on here. Really dope lady. Super smart. And I think she's like a very cool writer as well. So I don't know. We try to be classy in this place. Anthony mentioned here, how does it feel to have Travis Scott take a picture with your bike, Amy?
Oh,
Is that
yeah.
the whole thing with the G-Wagon with the holding the rifle and stuff?
What? I have no clue.
There's,
about that.
I think there's like a clip. Did you do like a music video or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, see, yeah.
I
Oh
know
my
what you're
God.
No, I know what you're talking about. That was
Okay.
my friend. That was my friend Millie, and I just put my bike in there.
Okay.
But the Travis Scott thing was different because I used to work at a hotel that I'm not gonna say the name of it, but like a lot of like celebrities like that would come in through the back entrance, and I usually parked my bike there because I worked valet.
Mhm.
So I was constantly in the garage, and like I just parked my bike down there just so I could go to work. And I'm like upstairs, like, you know, man in the front drive, and my phone was like blowing up, and all my friends are like, "Look at Travis Scott's Instagram. Is that your freaking bike?" And I was like, he took a picture with my bike and posted on Instagram. Like all my stuff was like on my bike, and he literally just like put it on the ground. And,
Oh
like,
my
just,
God.
like took a picture with it, and then I come back and like all my stuff's on the ground. I was like, what? Why would you do that?
Yo, time out. Yo, I don't care who it is, and I love Kanye West. If Kanye West put my shit on the ground to take a photo with my bike, it'd be problematic. I'm just saying.
I
I'm just saying.
was like, damn, you could have talked to me or something. Like I could have said what's up. Like asked to take a picture, or like, I mean, it's just kind of like it was down there and he didn't know whose it was, and his friend was literally like, "Yo, get in front of that bike, it's sick." And it was my R3. So it was so funny to like look at the comments under the video and be like, "He's posing with the R3, he doesn't even know what that is. It's so slow, la 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 la." And it was just hilarious.
You're like, it's my slow bike, guys.
I was like, "Hey, that's my bike." I was like, "Damn, you could have gave me some like Travis Scott's or something like that. Like that would have been sick."
Yo,
Even, like,
I would have been tight about somebody touching my bike or moving any of my personal belongings of my property. I'd be like, listen, you owe me some tickets for a concert or something like that. Something.
Or like a tip for like valeting your car or something.
Let's see what else we got here. Sorry, right in the summer, back with my parents. Okay, Fast Lane D. Oh, there's a couple of people here. Oh my God. Die David mentioned here. Die David the 8th? Yeah, the 8th. Your boy know how to read numeral numbers. Yeah, there you go. I agree with Amy. I wouldn't want my daughter to get a bike either. I'd be too worried. So here's the thing. People always ask me this also about me loving motorcycles, like even if I go to the office and stuff like that, which I have a great story to share with everybody. Great news. Don't let me forget. If you guys are in the chat, don't let me forget my story. It's super important. People like start asking me about my bikes. I never suggest people to ride any motorcycles because if you don't love bikes yourself or fall in love with it yourself, I feel if I recommend that you go and ride a bike, because bikes are 50-50, you could possibly hurt yourself as well. I would feel very guilty if something happens to you after I suggest for you to go do this. If someone asks my opinion, how do I like it, whatever, that's different. And I'm like, you might want to do a course or whatever it may be, because again, when you ride and you've already been riding for years, you've developed certain habits, good habits, some bad habits, some are in between, certain things like that. Teaching anybody that stuff might be detrimental to their experience. So I always say, go and get a course or go and kind of learn it. But rarely do I recommend anybody to ride a motorcycle, because I don't want to have anyone's like mishap on my conscience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just me, really. So I guess it's probably a thing.
I always say, like, people, I mean, this is like the number one question I get, and I'm sure like every other motorcycle person that posts online gets this question. They're like, where do I start? What bike should I get? And like, what do I do? And I like have something in my drafts. I just tell everybody, I'm like, go take the course, see if you actually like being on the motorcycle, and then start on like a 300 or 400, because I feel like that's just like the safest option. Knowing if you don't have experience, or maybe if you do, like, you can learn all these skills and like be extremely comfortable on 300 and then be able to ride anything else. And that's what I tell people. If they ask me, that's what I say. But I also like feel the same way about, like, if something were to happen to you and I told you to start riding, I would feel bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we share the same sentiment. Sasong mentioned, what's your dream motorcycle here?
The S1000.
Oh my God, this S1000 is taking over, man. It's taking over. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm totally a closet lover of BMW. After riding Eve's bike and having it for the day, I came this close to buying one, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, because the new one with the winglets going in the front I really like as well, but I'm not gonna buy that bike. I'm gonna I might as well share my story now about grabbing another motorcycle, and I guess I'll let you guys see it when I get it. But you guys know I've been looking into parking my bike when I go to the office or whatever it may be. So great news in the building. Okay, they're gonna freight my motorcycle downstairs when I go to the office. It's gonna be in the building, so I don't have to worry about it being in the street, and I don't have to pay for it. So that is really dope. Hopefully I'll do a video when I don't know if I'm going to take the new bike, or maybe I'll take, whatever it may be. But into a freight elevator, the maximum in the freight, I think it's like 6,000 pounds. The bike is going to be like 400 max. So I'll be able to bring it inside of the office building and then leave it in there until I'm ready to go home. So that's one problem. So I found some other motorcycle parking where they're like $1,000 a month, which, whatever. I just don't want my bike to be tipped over or stolen. I'll take it. But a lot of places don't take motorcycles because they need a specific motorcycle parking license in order for them to be liable for your bike. So I need something like directly across the street from my building, so I can just kind of go from one place to another, and I could see my baby if I need it. I'm like paranoid. So, but yeah, that's the story I didn't want to not share with everybody, by the way. So good news. Let's see what we got here. Just not writing. There's so many people are just coming in, chiming in. Guys, oh my God. Sasong has an S1000RR as well. He doesn't have any problems with like his coils neither. So that's a good thing. Let's see here. Definitely hit up Rev Mirror, right? Shoot her a DM. She's super cool. She'll reply. I know she's having some serious issues with it now. She's probably gonna dip out on it, but I think she's gonna buy another one. Yeah, and she's not the only person I know that's experienced. I don't think Dragoness Moto has a BMW S1000RR too. So Dragoness, if you're watching, have you got any issues with yours? So it seems like 3 for 3 with like the BMW right now.
Is
So
it just
that's
like a
interesting.
certain year, or is it the majority of the bikes?
No, this is not for me to deter you. Don't. I think it's a really dope bike. That's not what I'm doing here at all. I'm just might as well kind of chime in and ask because I didn't know about it neither until we had a couple of guests on that started talking about it. And I know Sasso's been super paranoid because he has his and he loved that. He loves that bike. He came from an R1 and he can't even live without that BMW. So it's like a thing. So, and he's like,
Yeah.
will I have a problem with this bike? So I think he's in the clear. But let's see if Dragoness and Moto mention here. She said 100 out of 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100. Great, I read that perfectly. 10 out of 10. Recommend the S1000RR. I haven't had any issues with mine. Rev Mirror had another coil go out after her stream with you, Mike. Oh shit. Yeah, this is great. So the thing is with those coils, if they do one, they don't do the entire thing. It's still bound to fail in certain point. It has to be pretty much all of it, but it is warranty work.
Yeah.
She blew her motor, so they had to kind of get her a whole new one. So that's a whole other story. But I think it's a great bike. The new one, I think, was a K7. What's the? I'm sure somebody's gonna correct me down in the chat. It's K67. You Ducati bastard. That's exactly the treatment I get when it comes to the stream. By the way, they're not very nice to me. Ducati Pilot mentioned I miss the old S1000RR, but it can't top the V4 Speciale. That's how you gotta say it. Best paint job ever made on any Ducati, I think. So far, so good.
That one is sick. Yeah.
Yeah. Kuya mentioned here BMW Master Tech for 15 years. Oh, that's really cool. He's a tech. Very rare instances with the S1000 coil. 3 years, 36K mile warranty. There you go. Some good news there. Maybe it's just a small batch. I mean, granted, listen, I'm on a Ducati, and a lot of people are like, don't do it. It's the pasta rocket. But seriously, I keep my bike's very well maintained. No issue across. Then again, I take my stuff apart and try to really upkeep it. So, everyone's experience is going to be very different, but I think it's a great bike to step into.
For sure.
Yeah.
It was either that or an R1, but okay, so here's my thinking too, is that if I go R1, I will enjoy that bike and then move up to an S1000, but if I get the S1000, I'm never going to want to get an R1.
I don't know. That's kind of an experience there.
So I'm like, should I just get the R1 and then have that and then be like, okay, I know I want S1000? I don't know. That's my dilemma right now.
That's a tough toss-up. Sorry, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. I just know that when I have the BMW, I'm not gonna want anything less. Or not saying the R1 is less, but like it's a different level. I feel like. I don't know. I feel like I should get R1 first because I have to go with my brand Yamaha.
Have you ridden a Aprilia RSV4?
No.
That's like you have to ride that.
I have not rode one yet. I've literally rode an H2 and I have not rode.
How tall are you?
5'7", 5'8" ish.
I think you have to try it at Aprilia RSV4. If you are taller than that, I'd say don't do it because that bike is very small, very cramped and stuff. But I think you're gonna have to try that Aprilia RSV4. That bike has soul. Oh my god! I remember he had let me borrow that bike also for a day. We were walking with this. It is an experience. I love Ducati, and in terms of fighting the way the bike feels, every time you quick shift, it's like a mini explosion. I know when you hear like the inline four, it has that sound, right? Which is perfectly fine for BMW. It sounds amazing. Yeah. When you hear a Ducati, when you hear that quick shifter on the XL, it sounds a certain way, but the Aprilia RSV4, it sounds like there's an explosion between every shift. I don't know how they do it. I don't know the power plant. I haven't experienced that on any motorcycle, and granted, there's no Aprilia in my area, so it's very hard for me to commit to buying an Aprilia. But I'm telling you, the experience of riding an Aprilia and hearing that engine, that little mini explosion with every quick shift, oh my God, it's crazy. It's wild. On a Ducati, you hear it on the outside. When you hear a V4 Ducati pass and you hear it, you feel, very MotoGP, you hear it, right? On the Aprilia, on the bike, you hear the explosion. For some reason, it's two different. I don't know how you do it. I'm not no master tech or whatever, but all I know is the experience of hearing that shifter and hearing the explosion. You hear it in the bike while you're on it. On a Ducati, as it's passing, it's a different experience to when you're on the bike. It sounds very GP when you're riding it. On the outside, it's a different experience for the viewer. So I know the Aprilia is complete. You have to try it, and please let me know what you think. I want to know. It's a whole different thing.
I don't know anyone in the area with one though, or else I would have been trying to ride it. Yeah. But that's the only one I want to try. I haven't tried yet. But if you say it's good, then I take your word for it.
But try it. I think it's a really cool bike, very, very interesting experience. I think if they had a lot more dealership support, I think Aprilia would do way better in America. I think a lot of people are very fearful, but I think moving forward, I kind of unwrap my head around that now that I have a lot more bikes to pick from. And I'm like, oh, and it's one of those things. Like even if you had 10 bikes, right? If one doesn't work, it's the one that I really want to ride. It's kind of a selfish thing, really. It's like, why that one's not working? I gotta fix that. So it's kind of an odd thing in my opinion. But I kind of figured if there's a hiccup, I could ride something else. Now I'm considering it. So.
Do you do all your work on your own bikes?
Most of them I think I pretty much do. The only thing that I do not do is valves and I'd say my valves I don't do it with the Ducatis because that's master tech stuff. And if you blow up the engine, then it's gonna be on you. I like something like this if somebody's held responsible for it. If it blows up, then I'd be like, okay, you guys gotta buy me another bike. If I blow it up.
That's on you.
Yeah, then it's I have to talk with insurance. I'm not doing none of that stuff. So it is what it is. Yeah. Anywho, I've held you so long tonight. Hopefully, I hope you're having a good time because, the stream's an interesting place, I'd say.
Yeah. Fun.
So anything you'd like to kind of have people know about you before we kind of wrap up for the night? I know we're running on probably an hour and a half. We try to make it somewhat reasonable.
I don't know. I think I've talked in circles about everything that I want to say. I feel like I have nothing else unless someone has a good question that I haven't talked about yet.
Oh, by the way, guys, there's so many of you guys that are tuned in. What's the deal with the thumbs up, guys? They're not charging you any money in your bank account when you hit it. So do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. Definitely helps with the algorithm. That's the only way we kind of get more people coming on. If I invite the next person and it's it doesn't do so well, I'm not going to waste my time. So you want to see more cool people coming on, definitely you want to make sure that the thumbs up kind of match. By the way, I do have somebody really cool that's coming in next Sunday. You guys stay tuned for that. It's going to be pretty cool. And I think it's a different approach from Superbike, so you guys are going to like the conversation. Oh, man. TIK TOK Sensation. By the way, would you recommend joining TikTok? I have no idea anything about TikTok at all. But there's been a lot of talk about people enjoying it there. It's a lot easier to kind of grow your brand. I know Adobo Moto recently left YouTube. He struggled so long for so many years. He went to TikTok and blew up and then slowly transitioned back to YouTube. And now he's 70,000 strong. So any good tips on that?
Well, I think with social media in general, going towards more of short vertical clips, every app that you have on your phone has that. Even Pinterest has that. And I think TikTok kind of catapulted that for all of the other social media platforms to do the same. So I honestly, I think that creators should give TikTok a chance just because I think it's somewhere where you could grow and you could learn the algorithm a little bit more. And just it's a different group of people that are on TikTok than Instagram, in my opinion. And you could reach a different audience based off of just how TikTok throws your video to random people. But it's hard to gain traction a little bit on there too. It's a little tricky, but I honestly think it's worth a shot. It worked for me and I didn't think it would. and that's my main platform that I want to grow and like make better content on from now on. So I say yes, you should try it.
Here's a good question for you. So, rarely do I come on here and really make it like about money or anything like that, but money's still something that's very important on the back end if you want to kind of continuously flow and grow into a specific spot. By the way, thank you for all you guys that are hitting the thumbs up. There's still a few of you that hasn't, so let's get that going. How is it in terms of getting paid on TikTok, if you do that? That's one of the other thing that I wanted to ask about.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm not making like any money from TikTok or Instagram, mainly because of the things that I've heard about when you start the creator fund is that TikTok kind of slows your algorithm a little bit. I don't know how true or not that is, but I haven't really wanted to try it. I kind of just want to like grow an audience first and then get more into that. So anything I make is from like affiliations and like affiliation codes and stuff like that. Which is I don't like need to make money from this right now. It's just kind of something I like doing on the side of like my college career and then my career in general. But if I like were to start doing YouTube and I made like ad revenue, like I would not complain about that. But yeah, so far it's just kind of like I'm doing it for fun and trying to see like how I can grow and like what works and what doesn't. But yeah.
I think it's a very good approach when you say that you're doing it for fun and growing a brand. I think in a lot of cases where it ends up falling to the space of I want to make sure I make money early on and trying to monetize it. I think growing the brand first, it's a new approach. Even myself, I kind of did similar thing in the beginning. It was more like, all right, I'm going to set up my brand. I want to make sure that it gets to a certain place. I look at things completely differently now, but I think it's a very fresh approach to the way you're doing it. You're growing the brand first and then doing the financial aspect later. I do have a good question. I know you mentioned you watch MK. What is it that you like about his videos and any other motovloggers that you do watch, and why?
Well, number one, I think he's in like California, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like across the country for me. So it's interesting to see like the bike scene over there, which I've heard and from watching those videos, it's like crazy over there, and the car scene. And so I watch it for that too. I like seeing him like go to the meets and stuff like that. And then the bike collection that he has too is super cool. And I like enjoy watching what it's like to build a higher end bike and like a more expensive bike. I think it's pretty cool to watch because like you can't really see that from anybody else around here. Like I haven't seen that in person and stuff like that. So it's cool to like see that journey of like how he's building the bikes and then the car scene, the bike scene out there. And it's cool from the perspective of like it being like on the chin mount. So it's like you're there riding along with them and stuff. I think that's pretty cool. It's kind of what I want to do too soon is like moto vlogging, like that style. But
I'm gonna put you in the spot now. Might as well do it. Take advantage of you a little bit.
oh,
Who has the better bike collection? 650E. I'm K. And I'm going to throw my boy Fastlane D in there. Why not? Who has the best bike collection? Oh, and you got to answer. Don't hit me with that politically correct nonsense. You got to tell me who has the better bike collection. Your boy wants to know.
well, two of them are watching, so I don't.
Doesn't matter who's watching. I need to know.
I don't know.
Oh, she's fleeing the fence.
Literally, I don't want to answer. I want to say I like IMK's because I've watched him for a lot longer, and I think that he has like a more like interesting variety. Not like the other people aren't interesting, but like interesting variety of bike.
I'm gonna say right now, I'm gonna go with Ebe because he set the structure and he has pretty much he has the top tier of everything.
Yeah, I do know about Eve, but I haven't watched him as much as I have IMK. And like that's what I'm saying. I don't know much about like his bikes and stuff, but like I'm sure if I watched, I would probably think the same thing.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I'm just realized I just had a eureka moment in my head, by the way. I just realized that Fastlane is the perfect mix of Ebe, and I'm K. Holy shit! I just had a moment right now. Am I the only one did I just catch this right now? I just thought to myself, he's just like the exact in between. He's like the missing piece of the puzzle.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, give that. You know what? Watch one of each of their videos, and I think you'll see the interconnect part. I think for some reason he's like right in the middle of that. Actually,
I think I know what you're talking about.
right?
Yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying.
And his collection, I think, has grown really, really dope. Like his stable's really dope. He has the H2. He's had the R1. He had an Harley before. He had the Husqvarna 701. I'm mad that he got rid of that because I'm getting a Sumo soon. But I knew why he got rid of it. It's a business thing for YouTube and stuff, so it makes sense. But yeah, I think he's the in between guy. Anybody else that you check out that you like? I mean, there's a couple of content creators that I really like as well too. Actually,
There's a lot of what?
there's a lot of content creators that I like as well too.
Oh, yeah,
You know what? I'll just name a few of mine that I say. I like. It's kind of a toughie, man. You know what I enjoy? I enjoy watching the new people a lot. Now, I like the guys that are seasoned that are doing the videos. I think those are great. What I truly enjoy is seeing somebody building from the ground up, like their first few experiences, understanding like how to do certain things, and seeing their personality go from very subtle, very timid to like learning how to project their voice to just right. And I think I'm always, again, earlier I mentioned I'm really into like the background stuff, so I guess that stuff's into relate a little bit. But I love seeing that, and it's a really cool experience in that. And I think even myself, I get a little bit jaded from I've been doing it for a long time, and I'm pretty comfortable with the camera. It's like, and I think that get lost in translation. Like some of the videos I'm doing on the KLX feels a lot like that to me because the excitement is there, something new is there, and it's like. I remember people watching it was like, I mean, I've never hear like kind of laugh like that. It's kind of weird. So it's I kind of enjoy that stuff. Outside of that, I do like watching Chase's content because production again.
Yeah.
I like production a lot.
Chase is right down the road for me too. Yeah.
Oh, have you ever been to his wreck bike rebuild garage ever?
No, I haven't, but I go down the road where he reviews bikes all the time, and like the mountain motorsports he takes them from, or used to take them from. Yeah, he's the one that I watched an R7 review, and I was like, I'm gonna go get the R7. Actually, I forgot about him.
That's awesome. See, and people think that content creators don't impact anything, or motovloggers. What else? Who else? I do like Chase. I do like, what's that lady? Her name is something blonde too, I think. She does the travel videos, you know. I think
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the full.
I'm trying to remember her name, but I don't know. But you guys know I actually did a video on her as well. I think she's really dope. Who else? $1 Million Bogan I find very interesting. He rides a Harley. He was big with Harley, and even to the point that he upset Harley a little bit, and they didn't want to. They told him, they gave him a cease and desist or whatever.
Oh.
But he seems like a very interesting guy. His passion for motorcycles is very interesting. Also, he's successful outside of motorcycling, but he does it out of passion. I think money came out of it, of course, but you know, he's starting to do travels and stuff like that. He's in Australia, so that's very interesting. Who else? That I like watching Josh Heron's content also. Him a pro.
I feel like you're a lot more like YouTube oriented, because like sometimes you're saying I don't know much of, and I know like a lot of people on like Instagram and TikTok and like those smaller platforms.
Yeah, I'm like YouTube driven, I guess.
Yeah.
It's more like MySpace, I guess, but it's all good. I think some of the other spots are great areas to kind of shine and like grow an audience as well. I just find it a little bit more difficult to adopt the short form content, and it's very difficult to tell a cohesive story, but I get it. It's like very short and quick, and it takes a level of skill to actually be really good at it, because I started doing shorts on YouTube.
Yeah.
I know that's a competing platform. Quickly found out that it's an art to be able to capture somebody within like 60 seconds, 40 seconds in the vertical video. So I think that's very interesting too.
I that's why I want to move to YouTube because I want to have like more of like a cinematic like story and like chronological like this is what happened during the day, like this is where I rode to, or like this is who I rode with, like this was how the ride went. Because I feel like right now what I post is has no like deeper substance. It's just kind of like aesthetics of like riding and like some cool shots of my bike and like stuff like that. And I want to gear more towards like a YouTube channel where it's like 30-minute videos of like a whole day or like about the bike or like a whole track day. Because I feel like I enjoy watching those videos and I want to create something with more like substantial like I don't know how to really put it, but you know what I'm talking about. It's
Yeah.
kind of like it's like it's short videos on TikTok and Instagram now, but like later on I want to show more of like bike life like in general, with the story and stuff. So
Yeah, definitely makes sense. You want something with a beginning, middle, and then just like a full story of what's going on. So definitely makes sense. By the way, guys, if you guys have any, somebody put Moto Blonde. Okay.
we talked about her earlier, yeah.
Oh,
Or no, Moto Blonde. Oh, that's the girl.
that's who I was talking about.
Okay.
Moto Blonde. You got to check her out. She's really dope. Very interesting. Not Blondie, but this one's Moto Blonde.
Yeah.
Let me see any. Guys, if you have any questions before we cut out for the night, I know we're running over an hour and a half. I try to keep the show probably about an hour and 20 minutes. Just want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in tonight. Also, Amy, you've been amazing. Thank you. I really appreciate you being on. And really interesting hearing about your passion about biking. Really excited to see you get your new BMW. That's going to be dope. Guys, give her a follow on Instagram. And if you're on TikTok, please give her a follow. We want to blow her up. She's classy. She's dope. She loves motorcycles. And that's like a triple threat in my personal opinion. So, so I'm going to give you the floor, let people know where they could find you. And then we'll just kind of wrap up, guys. Here we go. It's all you.
Oh, okay, sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm on mostly Instagram and TikTok right now, and my handle is Amy Cat Vaughn, and it's a long name, but hopefully it'll pop up. Amy Cat, CatVaughan. And hopefully I'll be on YouTube soon. So keep up with me if you want to see some vlog content maybe in the future.
Yeah, man. Guys, by the way, thank you all for tuning in. By the way, if you guys want to show love and support to FreeStyle Sunday and the ClutchFirst channel, hit the links in the description. Motivation USA is the place for you to shop for any of your motorcycle specialty parts, guys. And also hit up Manscaped. You get 20% off with my code CFNY20. Always appreciate the support, guys. I'll catch you guys next Sunday. Looking forward to the next one. Peace. That was awesome. No, that was awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. That was pretty